fast as possible. Let's get to it. Georgia beats Texas 35-10, outscored them 21-0 in the fourth quarter. And guys, I have felt like for the last 3 times that these two football teams have played, the only 3 times these two football teams have played while being SEC member schools, and Sark being the head coach and Kirby Smart being the head coach over here at the University of Georgia, I feel like the last 3 times Georgia's staff as a whole, as a collective staff, has coached circles around Texas. Because let's be honest, the talent disparity is not there. There is no difference in these dudes versus these dudes. A lot of it is these dudes play better, harder, longer than these dudes. So why is that? A lot of coaching. First matchup, I felt like the defensive game plan from Schumann, being that 50 down front out there in Austin, created massive amounts of problems for a Texas offense that at that time, if y'all remember, looked relatively well-oiled, looked like a relatively unstoppable, I'm not going to use that word, really, really good offense at that point in the season. And then Georgia's just like, you ain't running the ball today, big dog. Defensive game plan out there in Austin in the first matchup was far and away the difference maker. And then the late game fourth quarter play caller by Mike Bobo out there last year was phenomenal. The throwback screen to Oscar Delp flips the field. They overcome 3 turnovers in that football game, did Georgia, if y'all remember. I thought it was a master class in coaching, right? The second matchup in the SEC championship game, y'all know what it was. It was not only overcoming a backup quarterback, right? Overcoming a backup quarterback, but doing so with a fake punt call. Doing so with a decision that I think I've seen 1 fake punt, maybe 2. The SEC championship game, ironically enough, or maybe the national championship game, whatever it was, Justin Fields, that's sore subject. But there's that one, and then the one they got Texas with. That's really about it, as long as I've been covering this football team or really paying attention closely since Kirby's been around. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but bringing that one out was like a wow. On top of overcoming, like I said, a backup quarterback. And then this matchup was the onside kick and everything else in between. It's just a masterclass, I feel like, every single time. And it's something that I told my buddy Matt Glatz in front of the show on the way to the game. He stayed with us this weekend, and I was like, buddy, I'm picking Georgia not only because of the one-dimensionality of Texas's offense, and their defense seems a little susceptible to deep game passing attacks, and the zone coverage isn't as tight as it has been in years prior. There's a lot of reasons why I'm going to pick Georgia in this game, but most of it is the fact that I think Kirby's going to coach circles around him, because he does every time they get into a matchup. And look, I told Matt, and I tell Texas fans this, you need to know this, Texas. They all got these. All these coaches got this hurdle. I mean, Kirby's got one against Alabama. Kalen DeBoer's got one against the random, we can't figure it out, right? Josh Heupel's got it against Georgia. Texas has got it against Georgia. They all have these hurdles. Ryan Day has it against Michigan. They're not all perfect. So you just have to kind of live with yours and not lose to Florida randomly. You know what I mean? That's what you can't do. You can't go out and get your doors blown off by a Florida team that's not as good as you. That's what you can't do. But this game, this hurdle that you have, this inability to run the football, not only against Georgia, but now all year, that's something you got to get figured out. Yeah, you got a hurdle to overcome. Most of these football programs and football coaches do. So it's not unique to you. It's not unique to you at all. This is going around all over college football nowadays. There is no perfect, unbeatable football coach. He's gone. He's retired. He's 73 years old. Everybody's looking for him. You know what I mean? So I don't think that's a you problem. That's a them problem. Now, here is the real thing. And this is my opinion. And Texas fans will, especially their media, some of the stuff I saw from their media yesterday, the 3 plays that cost Georgia this football game. Guys, I felt like Kirby Smart kicked that onside kick because he was more fearful of Ryan Niblett, the returner, than he was Texas's offense at that point in the football game. And you'll say, but Brooks, they had just scored a touchdown like 2 drives before. Yeah. Converting a 3rd and 12 and a 3rd and 15. Guys, they were 2 of 14, 2 of 15, 2 of 12, whatever the hell it was, on 3rd down. They were not moving the ball. They were not moving the ball consistently to the point where you were fearful of their offense. Like that game was 14-3, and I thought at any point, Georgia's about to open a can. And then Anthony Hill makes one of the craziest plays I've ever seen a linebacker make. And now all of a sudden, short field, 14-10. 14-10. And I'm like, oh, now it's a ball game. Now it's a ball game. Now it's a ball game. Now you got to lock in, right? Everybody's got to lock in. Oh, now you got to go figure out a way to win. Boom, 21-10. Boom, onside kick. Boom, 28-10. Boom, ball back. Boom, 35-10. Boom, game over. But even at the 14-3, I did not feel as if it was like, I felt like one team was moving the football pretty decently, and one football team was like, shit, 16, can you figure it out? Hey, Arch, can you do something today? Again, we can't run the ball again. Again, we're going to run for 32 yards. Josh Pate had the tweet after the show, or after the game. 3 games, Texas has played Georgia. They've rushed for 82 yards. But the problem with Texas this year, and the reason they are a 3-loss football team and have a chance to be a 4-loss football team, is because it ain't just Georgia. Y'all can't run the ball, period. Can't run the ball, period. And you're not going to suddenly come into Athens against Georgia and figure it out. That's not how that works. You don't just figure out run game against the Georgia Bulldogs. Not as long as, basically since like Game 7, 2019. Game 7, 2019, Jordan Davis emerged as a nose tackle. They figured out the mid front. They ain't given up run spits since. So there's that. I felt like defense, Anthony Hill and Colin Simmons, and defensive run game, like ability to just be sound defensively, and Arch Manning's arm were the only reason that game even felt like you were, quote unquote, 5 plays away. I didn't feel as if it was that way. It got exposed that it was not that way in the fourth quarter. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the way I felt about that. And like, we can do this mental gymnastics of it was 14-10, and they like, I heard I love Michael Taff, and I love Steve Sarkisian. I love these guys. I think they're great football people. They're great at what they do. But I think it's disingenuous to say, oh, that game was really, really tight until it wasn't. Well, these are body blows, man. It's like saying, oh, we were in that 12 or that 10-round fight until we got knocked out and put on the canvas. Well, you got body blowed and hit to the face. Like, I don't know, he jabbed you 150 times, and then the left hook, knocked you out. But didn't we all watch you get jabbed 150 times? Like, that's the way I felt about that. Hey, dear Mike Bobo haters, can we talk? Because look, I don't do a lot of ha, nana, boo-boo, I was right. Just like I'm not going to do the ha, nana, boo-boo, I told you on Thursday. Everybody was trying to call me to tell me that they thought Texas was going to get rolled in this game, and I felt like I had to tell you that. I don't do the nana, boo-boo, ha, I'm right, because I think it's distasteful. I think I do enough that people don't like. I don't have to sit here and tell you how right I am. But Mike Bobo has been your offensive coordinator for 3 years now since the return, right? Obviously, he had a long tenure prior to Kirby Smart being the head football coach under Mark Richt. But he has been your offensive coordinator 3 years since having this talent, since having Kirby Smart's regime, right? And having that defense. Good God. Because Lord knows he was putting up 40 points a game when he was at Georgia the first time. Just didn't have a damn defense. That's a story for another day. But he has been your coordinator for 3 years now. 2 of those 3 years, he's been working in a first-year starting quarterback. And now this year, with this year's first-year starting quarterback, you go pull a stat. I don't care what offensive stat you prefer. You go pull one right now. Try it. I bet Georgia's somewhere between top 15 to top 25 in any single statistical category you pull. You want to pull passing explosives? Go ahead. You want to pull running explosives? Go ahead. You want to pull rundown efficiency? Going ahead. You want to pull third down conversion rate? You go ahead. You want to pull yards per game, points per game, whatever box score stat you want to pull. Georgia's going to be top 15 to top 25 in every single statistical one, while being top 5, maybe the number 1 most efficient offense in the sport. When I say they are the top 15 consensus across the board in every category, you know what I'm describing? I'm describing an extremely well-balanced offense. I'm describing an offense that's extremely hard to defend. And I'm describing a great offense is what I'm describing. When you are consistently great across all the boards and you're well balanced, you're great. You're really, really good. You're really, really hard to defend. And not only that, execution rates on this football team are extremely high. And I only say that because I got told all year last year that drops were on the coordinator, that missed blocks were on the coordinator, that missed assignments were on the coordinator, that missed executions were on the coordinator. I would show you on film right tackles getting their face shoved in, and you're like, well, whose job is it to get them to execute? Fire him. And then now I bring it up, and you're going to be like, oh, well, that's because they got great players. Well, okay. Yeah. Execution rates at an extremely high rate. But here's how I really know that, like, he doesn't get enough credit, and maybe he finally will. Maybe Mike Bobo will. But how many damn times have we seen this guy absolutely murder people on critical downs this year? I mean, third downs, fourth downs, third and shorts, fourth and shorts, balls at the middle of the field, important, critical scenario right now. Boom. Great play call to pick it up. I mean, apart from Josh McCray running through the face of defensive tackles against Ole Miss, I do not recall a critical down scenario where the play call didn't win. You know what I mean? When the play call didn't win, where it was like, damn, coach got us there. Coach got us there. We're good. Okay. And again, like, I don't understand why, like, it takes forever. Hey, Jaden Wade just committed to the University of Georgia. You would have known that had you been locked in with the Film Guy Network. Anyways, he's not going to get his credit. He's like Nickelback. There's something happened where it was like cool to hate the guy and cool to be like, hey, that guy sucks. And everybody's like, you know what? That guy does suck. You're cool. I like you because you think that guy sucks. So yeah, like that's just the way it is. He's going to have to go win a national title to ever be condoned a good coordinator. But I do think it's kind of like, I think it's happening. I think of the mass amount of ball knowledge that is going around here. And as the platform continues to grow, as we have almost 3,000 people here today, as the platform continues to grow, I think that ignorance, it is no longer bliss. You know what I mean? I don't think you just get to walk around shouting at the clouds, Bobo sucks, because there's going to be a ball knower in your midst that's going to be like, you're an idiot. No, you're not cool anymore. Nickelback doesn't suck. Sidebar. That Anthony Hill interception was insane. For him to open to the field, turn his hips, sprint and run, come to balance after having gained as much depth and ground to take away the dig, and then to leak yourself back up underneath the dig and to high point the football, goofy stuff. I'm standing there by a couple Georgia folks, and they're like, dang, he forced it, didn't he? I'm like, forced it? What are y'all watching? That is an avatar. That is an alien out there playing linebacker. No, that is not forced it. Like that interception was the same exact ball. Fathead people with microphones like me sat there for the first 3 weeks and were like, well, I don't know if Gunner's going to be the guy. He can't pull the trigger. He's just not trusting himself. He's not trusting what he's seeing. And then the same people will watch that interception and be like, oh, he forced it there. No, he didn't force it there. He's playing football. He's trying to force it. He's trying to put a ball into a tight window, and a great player made a great play. Tip the cap, move forward, right? That's what you have to do in that situation. I thought it was an insane play by Anthony Hill. I thought Georgia did a bunch of stuff in that football game to really challenge Colin Simmons. They went at him. They allowed offensive tackles to fight and live on an island by themselves. They read him a couple of times. They never once let him get into a flow of the football game. And this was from sideline, right? I know he had a sack early in the football game. I know he had a TFL, 1.5 TFL, something like that. He had an impact on this game. Do not get me wrong. But I felt like every week teams allow Colin to know what they're going to do to him. They're either going to dedicate a ton of resources to him and try to take him away, or they're going to read him. And then for 4 quarters, he gets to get into this flow of the football game. He really gets to like really vibe and play free and not have to think and not have to worry like, oh, are they reading me here? Are they kicking me here? Are they running at me here? Oh, are they leaving me on an island here? Oh, do I have a chance to go? Am I getting chipped here? I felt like the whole game, he's kind of doing this rope-a-dope with what am I getting? What is happening to me? I can't catch a flow. And then it's 4th and 5. And I make the biggest critical mistake of the football game. I jump off sides. And for the 3rd football game in a row, I've seen a team fall for the banana in the tailpipe. I don't mind telling you this because if it's not like I'm exposing secrets, and this is confirmation I have no bias. If I had bias, I would not tell you this. For the 3rd week in a row, I am going to tell any football coach that listens to me right now, Coach, he's not going. 4th and 2 or plus, ball in between the 38s. Kirby Smart is not going. He's not. So much so that if I were a defensive coordinator, I would tell my guys, if you get blown off the ball, I will run to a microphone after the game in a short yardage situation and tell them, I was so worried about jumping off sides that I told guys, don't fall for it. Do not fall for the banana in the tailpipe. He's not going. He ain't never gone. He never tends to run a play or intends to run a play on 4th and 2 plus, ball in the middle of the field. He's punting the football. You are giving him an escape route. Don't do that. Do not do that. I can't believe it. 3 games in a row. I watched Florida do it. I watched Mississippi State do it. And now I've watched Texas do it. It's insane. It's crazy. Banana in a tailpipe. Crazy. Oh, here we go. Apparently there's some Save the Whales talk. You know, I've seen it in my mentions. A lot of people talking to me about saving the whales. Why is Will Compton quote tweeting me right now? What's Will Compton got going on? Oh, he's quote tweeting my Big Ten tweet. Don't worry, Will. We're gonna get to that in a second. He wants to be ejected from the stands. Big Ten fans are so funny. They have no rebuttals just to say, get this guy out of here. I don't like this. Ew. This guy's so right. I don't like this at all. I got sidetracked. Apparently there's some Save the Whales talk. So let's save the whales. If you're new to the network, we all believe around here. We all believe that we should save the whales. We should pay the teachers. And for the love of God, will somebody work on world peace? On top of that, referees suck. We all know. These are all things that we all know and we all wish we could get fixed. But ain't nobody doing a damn thing to get it done. Anyways, let's save the trees as well. I mean, God forbid we need oxygen. Let's save the whales right quick. 9 penalties to 1. Screenshots galore. A lot of people complaining about holding. Oh my God, did you see this hold that didn't get called? Oh, but they're calling holds against us, Brooks. You got a persecution complex. That's what you got. You got a victim blaming, or you got a victim complex out there. Because here's what I looked up today, Texas. We are 10 games in? We are 10 games into the schedule. You are 129th in penalties. 129th in penalties. Yeah, you had 9 on Saturday. They had 1. Guess what? They're top 25, top 35 in penalties allowed is Georgia. They have been as long as Kirby's been there. They don't get penalized a lot because they're a very disciplined football team. Hey, you know who isn't? Texas. I looked it up today. 94th in penalties last year. 99th in penalties in 2023. 129th in penalties in 2025. You can sit here and blame the Zebras and you can say refs suck, but my God, aren't you tired of that? Aren't you a little tired of that? Like, we're 3 years into this, dude. And you know what it is? It's the fact that you probably lead the nation in holdings. I would imagine you do. And you know why? For my money, y'all have, it is system-based. Every time I watch Texas on film, every time I watch Texas in person, every time I watch them on TV, they's a damn hold. There's a hold on a left tackle. They probably run a wide zone. Left tackle, right guard. It doesn't matter. Center. Somebody is trying to reach the defensive lineman in front of him. The defensive lineman in front of him is a better athlete than him because we play in the SEC. The defensive lineman gets in front of him. Offensive lineman holds him, pulls a jersey. Line judge back there is going, that's obvious. Hold. And then y'all want to screenshot all these holds against SEC teams that are running counter and they're running inside zone, and the hold's actually in the box. And the back judge has to look through all 11 bodies that are in there and look for that one little jersey pull. It's a little bit different than when we're all on an angle and we're all running wide zone, stretch zone, whatever, and me and my body that I'm holding on is like 2.5 yards of space between me and the next conglomerate of bodies. If you have no idea what I'm talking about with the regards to the difference between wide zone and inside zone or counter and running in the box for stretching it out of the box, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, and that's okay. But there is a reason why you lead the nation in holding penalties, I would imagine. It is schematic based. I was having this conversation with an SEC coach the other day about this. Texas runs a system that is molded like an NFL system. The average depth of routes are way too deep. The run concepts are predicated off of we've got to have blue chippers, right? Like they have to basically have first round tackles to be able to run their run game. And I don't think that's ideal, not in college football. You know what I mean? So there's that. Let's talk quarterbacks. Both these guys, toughness on display for four quarters. Every photo of Arch Manning you will see in that photo album re-released today, he's got defensive players draped on him for 4 quarters. For 4 quarters, that kid is just standing in pockets, getting absolutely obliterated, or if getting out of pockets, doing so because he's such an elite athlete. And honest to God, I think it was the only reason they had a chance. The only reason they even felt like they had a chance for 3 quarters is because Arch Manning was just ripping seeds left and right, and playing hot when needed to, and holding the ball as long as he possibly could for the 17th deep over we've ran in a row to finally run to grass, and then to, sidearm while taking a hit from Quintavious Johnson or taking 2 hits from a defensive tackle on a defensive end and just finally getting it out of my hands because we finally got an option to win. And it's just, there is no tougher 2 quarterbacks in my mind right now in college football than those 2 guys. Those 2 guys get absolutely obliterated. I mean, Gunner, again, the 4th down, the 4th and 1, pulling a read option, Colin Simmons, cartoon shot. It looks like I got obliterated by a battlefield shotgun on point B. I mean, just obliterated on 4th down, and just pops right back up. Oh, heck, got to go play the next one, and just plays the next one, just keeps going. The toughness of those dudes is just elite. By the way, don't want to hear another damn thing. I don't talk a lot about it. I don't get asked a lot about it anymore because he's playing really, really good. Radio guys listening to me now, fans listening to me now, you're going to get a look from me if you ask me about Gunner's throwing motion. You're going to get a look. I'm going to look at you like, I mean, seriously, dude, because watch that 4th and 1. Watch that 4th and 1 when he has to pull the ball out of the belly of the back, and then Colin Simmons is in his face, and it's like immediate ball out as quick as possible. Oscar Dell, first down, pick it up, move the chains. That's it. That's all that is required. Do we have enough of an ability to get the ball out when we need to get the ball out? Can we be a playmaker? That guy's a playmaker. That's exactly it. Can I be labeled a hater? Almost 4,000 people in here. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. Can I be labeled a hater right quick? And Texas fans, and look, if I aspired to just be the most likable analyst in the world, I would avoid this take. I would, because this kid played his ass off. He's playing great football. He's young. He's developing. I'm still buying stock. I'm gonna before I give the labeled hater take, I'm gonna give all the pleasantries. Okay. The only reason you were in that football game offensively is because of Arch Manning. You can't run the football. You can't really protect him. There's a lot going on right now that he is carrying this squad. Okay. But can I give a football observation without being labeled just a hater? Let's try. Arch Manning really struggles to layer the football. Like, really struggles. I like to a point where I don't know if he can do it. He has a dozen wow throws every single football game. A dozen. Tight window, like the throw in the goal line to Wingo, I think it was, for touchdowns, an elite throw. Several of the out routes outside the numbers, elite throws. Several of the deep balls he's made in tight pockets, elite throws. All the I'm willing to die in this pocket, elite throws. He's a huge human, something you don't ever really notice until you roll up on this cat. Massive, massive dude. Tremendous athlete, has an extremely strong arm, smart, competitive, tough as all get out. Love him. Would draft him, would try to develop what I'm about to talk about, which is the fact that I don't think he can layer the ball. If he doesn't have an ability to throw it 100% as hard as he can, I don't know if he knows where it's going. There were several deep over, like, hey, second reading the progression, it's running away from us type of throws that he flat out missed in that game, that if I think he hits, I'm not going to say totally different football game, but different football game. Different football game. I think most of them were to the Mosley kid. The Mosley kid was running open 3 or 4 times, and they were all plays where we got to put a little air on this. We got to put a little touch on this. We got to throw it with a little grass, right? And we just overthrow it, or we underthrow it, or we errant throw it. But, man, you let him get his cleats in the ground and you let him rip and really pull the string on one, puts it on guy's face. Like, really, really accurate with the football then. But when we have to touch the ball, I don't think we have all that much accuracy right there. P.S., the coaching world isn't always right, but they were right on that one. You know, they were right on that one. Georgia's college football playoff bound, and I think it was funny. I don't know if you guys remember. Y'all might. But I think it was after the Alabama loss. Everybody was panicking. And I said, guys, the floor at the University of Georgia under Kirby Smart is 10-2. And a lot of people got in my mentions. I'll pull the thread up later today. A lot of people pulled up my mentions and were like, 10-2, we already have a loss. Ole Miss, Texas, Georgia Tech, we still got to go to Auburn. Just like doing the whole panic thing, the whole thing. And I'm just like, guys, it's Kirby Smart. Don't worry. He'll figure it out. They'll figure out a way to win 10 games. The floor is 10-2. The floor is 10-2. Y'all going to stop it. Y'all going to stop doing it. Y'all going to stop doing the, oh, is Kirby Smart washed? Guy reinvented the whole entire program culturally this offseason. Year 10. Guy completely revamped the building. Fire, passion, and energy. That was a lot. Sorry. Hey, we'll take a quick minute to give a shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. What a great time to be here on this network this year, but also a great time to be with our friends over at Sleeper. Go over to Sleeper today, the #1 place for daily fantasy and prop plays. Sleeper Picks is a real money product that connects friends over picks. Choose 2 to 8 of your favorite players from pregame, live, or even across different sports. Pick more than or less than the predicted stats. It's that simple. On Sleeper, you can get up to 100x payouts, share with your friends, and get rewarded today. Use promo code Brooks, as you see on the screen, on Sleeper and get 100% deposit match up to $100. Again, that's sleeper.com/promo/Brooks. Terms and conditions apply. Boys, as you know, we're about 28 minutes at the time of this ad read from the kickoff of NFL Sunday. So go ahead, run over to Sleeper right now. I'll give you permission to leave the stream actively. Go over to Sleeper, get a play in right quick, and get paid. We appreciate those folks over there at Sleeper. Again, that's promo code Brooks over there on Sleeper.